Alright, guys, we are live. We are live. Normally, I analyze NASDAQ, I analyze stocks, and then also trade them. But today, it's weekend, so I'm only gonna do crypto today. So my full attention is for crypto, and if you still want to see some stocks, then sure, I can still analyze them. That's no problem. But my main focus will be on crypto. So let me just prepare a few things. Let me start sharing the stream. And then I'll get into the technical analysis on Bitcoin. And then, because of course weekend started and we're dumping. So let's see. One more time, guys. I'm gonna share the stream on Twitter. Then I'll start with the technical analysis. So. There we go. Brother, Sunsam, welcome to the stream, buddy. Good to have you here. Amazing to see you watch the stream in the weekends. Alright. Oi, oi, longing Bitcoin. Well, I'm not in any longs, but there are some opportunities because we just did this, but I'll get into that in a second. I have no life, mate. Me neither. That's why I'm streaming crypto, brother. It's life of a trader. Welcome. Not kidding. It's not that heavy, but I mean, if you ask me, what do I enjoy most? That is analyzing, chatting with Sunsam in the stream, of course. Cheers to that. Alright, let's start by analyzing Bitcoin. Sunsam, you have seen past streams, so I've told this many times. We had the range and this breakout supply where buyers still tried to push the price up, but then sellers stepped in and we made new lows from there. And we've tested that, and that's also when we've made new lows. But what is happening here locally is we have created a range. I've removed the midline on it right now, but this could mean that market makers are preparing to buy Bitcoin. And this could be a market maker signal for higher price action. And I must say, when I zoom out like this, it is starting to look good for some good opportunity. And I'll tell you why. Because we have this high, this is liquidity, this high, this is liquidity. And then I think it was on the 8 hour. Yeah, we had this 8 hour order block right here. That is what we touched, and we started building liquidity there as well. Okay, so we are building liquidity on the highs now, and we also broke through a lows. This means we need liquidity from the bottom. Well, we have been building liquidity for how long now? 2 weeks? Let me check. Yeah, for pretty much 2 weeks we are building that liquidity. So really my target for this would be the bottom right here. This is your extreme liquidity. You could also argue it's this level right here. But if we manage to sweep that, there could be some opportunity. because according to this liquidity schematic, we have a 1, we have a 2 that is a market maker signal, and there's 2 ways right now to grab another market maker signal, which will be coming down, downtrending like this, sweep your extreme liquidity, and then breaking structure towards the upside. Then you would have your market signal right here. That's one of them. And then I would be really interested in this higher low place to then start targeting 95k on Bitcoin, which would be the target of a accumulation like this. Because what we're seeing here is we are consolidating, and down here we are accumulating. So you have your consolidation, you have your manipulation down here, and after your manipulation you get the expansion towards the opposite side, which I would be looking at a 95k. And then we can see from there. We could also possibly start distributing from there. So deviate that, calm down, take it one more out, and then we can start going down again. That's optional, sure, but sometimes accumulations also have follow-throughs. So if we do manage to get that follow-through, I do expect price to start going up quickly towards all of this liquidity right here. Yeah. We managed to break this supply here, which has been tested. Now once again, I do expect further price action if we can get this accumulation at the bottom towards possible all-time highs. Yeah. Coffee is so hot still. So this is scenario 1 that I would be interested in, this long-term picture on Bitcoin, and also the place where I would be looking for some longs, because right now it's not great to search for longs. Of course, we've just broke structure towards the downside, so we need to be careful there. Option 1 right here. Let's go over option 2 for the higher time frame accumulation that is being built here. We would have to downtrend like this, and then we sweep once again this low. And if we then manage to get a good break, good break towards the upside, like this with a lot of strength, and we break structure towards the upside, then this could also be your market maker signal. I would prefer to be this deviation, if we do come down here, to be in this extreme demand that I've marked in, because when we start looking at the 3-day time frame, this is, this was an accumulation. I don't think no one will forget the price action that is happening right here on Bitcoin. So much panicking, but a lot of opportunity. This is the part that brought us towards new highs. Okay, so this is also the part that brought you all the way up to there. So this would also be the part where you want structure to combine here. And when we do combine and we do get that really aggressive break towards the upside again, then man, it is interesting, because then we would have to hold price here, and then we can really target that 95k at first. And of course, a target would be at 95k, but there will also be a runner open, because this could be just the bottom on Bitcoin there for another all-time high. It could be the case, yeah. Not a. I cannot say no to that. $75k entry, just waiting. Yeah, for me, it's not a place to just put a buy order in, but it's definitely a place I'm gonna be really sharp looking for that confirmation if we do break above, man. Yeah. Um, the price at 75k, you need to be really sharp. For sure. because I do think there could be opportunity coming these coming weeks for long term. I've also told in the last streams, if you manage to hold this low, then we could also expect upside. Well, that didn't happen, so this scenario is playing out. I'm not interested in taking longs here. I do think price will just come up here, touch your last point that brought you to new lows, just follow that order flow, make the lower high for more downside price action towards all of this liquidity. I do not think this was enough liquidity to start getting that rotation all the way up again. Not if there's just this juicy liquidity down here waiting for it to be grabbed. Let me just put a music on the background, by the way. Can get me into the analyzing flow. There we go. Let me know if the music is loud enough soon, Sam, brother. In and out this morning. I think you mean right here then? If you're long right here, sure it's valid, because if I do go over the structure right here, when we look at the 1 minute, you know, this is just simple market structure. Yeah, 82k bounce. Yeah, I mean, you had the entry here. Even for me it was interesting, but I wasn't at the computer at the time, because we had this, we've made a high and we've made new lows from there. What price then did is we've made new highs. And what part made the new highs? It was this part right here. That means this would have been your entry, and for the expectation order flow you would have to hold that low. That's when you could have started targeting more upsides. First TP, definitely this, because this is your higher time frame supply block. Because your structure on the 5 minute is this right here. Made new lows. So on the 5 minute our oh my god. On the 5 minute our expectation order flow is still this lower high for that lower low. But yeah, the play down there was definitely here, man. Yeah. Short to 79 soon. I mean, like I've just said, this part would be really interesting. This also becomes your breaker. And why? Because the trend was still bullish when it came right here. And you can also see there was some buying power here. But the people that were buying are now in trouble. So that means when price comes back here and they're still in longs, they're going to close their position on break even. And that's also when you're starting to get that sell pressure. Not only from people that are selling their buy positions, but also from people that wanting to short here, because that's just the structure. It's a lot of it's the good support resistance level here, so it's a great place, man. So again, for me it's always local confirmation. I'm always gonna wait for price to trend there, break structure, and then it is my time to take the trade. Yeah. But yeah, good point of interest for shorts. Yeah, for sure. And when we do protect this high, you know the market needs liquidity from the bottom. Where's your liquidity? This would be your first target. And that is the, let's see. Yeah, 2-3% away. That's great. Great target. 100%. Okay, well that was Bitcoin, guys. It's every possible scenario for me to take trades in. I'm not looking for longs right now, but I am looking for that short up here on the breaker like I've just discussed. So we're gonna move away from Bitcoin and starting to analyze Ethereum. Let me just make this, put everything up here, because I want to go over everything in this stream. All right. So unless any of you guys have a chart you want me to analyze, then I'll grab that with a pleasure. And if not, I'm just gonna finish this list here, and let's start to go on Ethereum. Ethereum, it's an interesting one because I've analyzed it a lot of times. I do find it pretty ugly, but the basics of this is right here. We have this low and a high that made us new lows. So this also means everything that is happening between those two levels, the expectation order flow of the higher time frame is still bearish for that lower high towards another lower low, which is just our high time frame objective. So everyone always starts to get bullish when you have like a retail pennant like this and you break up above and people think, oh, Ethereum is going to make the run back. No, you really have to look at it the technical way, because we were still bearish because of this high towards this low, and everything happening in between was internal. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. If you have any chart requests, then definitely let me know, because I can pick it up. If you want to spar about a chart, want some advice about certain things, no financial advice of course, but who knows. Alright, so what I was watching here is we had this range on Ethereum, while the order flow being this lower high for this lower low. This range was what we created, and this could signal market makers sell signal 1, because we deviated the high right here and we lured in some buyers, because if you go over an high you lure in a lot of buyers into the market and they're going to place their stop losses below this low. That's also why we saw this huge acceleration here. And because we deviated high, this also means everyone that has been shorting this position has been stopped out, and a lot of buy orders come into the market, and that makes it interesting for the market makers to press their little sell button. And when they do press that sell button, they're filling up orders. We've left open all of these highs here, which I must say is more bullish than bearish for the long term. But we have seen this move down, and we did not even go for an extended liquidity model. No, apparently this was enough liquidity to be grabbed by the market makers to short towards all of this liquidity down here. So that's pretty interesting to see. Let's remove this. It's disrespected. This was tested. It's really going towards this now, I think. I'll check on the lower time frame what I have drawn in here, because it has been a while. There's a lot of things drawn there. Or, I mean, it has been a while since I've looked at this place, where the zone is coming from. So I'll check that out in a bit. But we had the market maker signal on top and we just started trending down. Building liquidity on the highs means we need liquidity from the bottom. And we have been going aggressively down. So I'm interested to see what we're going to do right here. If we can really make that comeback run. Or is Ethereum just going to follow the order flow and make new lows? And when we do make new lows, we can then try again to break this high. So that's interesting. Let me check where this zone is going. I'm gonna put the replay mode on it. Check the 5-minute. Yeah, this is clear. This is good support. And that is because I call this the origin of your whole up move. Because this is when the buyers stepped in, held price for the first time, and from there you started breaking structure. So this is your origin of your whole up move. And what up move? Let's go out of replay mode. It's literally this whole up move. So if we want to start making higher lows and demand take over, it should be from here. And if we do, we could get some possible, we can try again to break this high for a more high time frame trend break, because this is it right now. Then we would make the higher low and try to break this high again. And if we do break this high, we have a higher high, and we can now expect a higher low for another higher high. So then you can see on the chart demand is starting to take over, and we can start trading more upwards. But for now, it's still down until proven otherwise. So it's a waiting game on Ethereum. Let's check a bit of this local part. Yeah, I mean, on the 4-hour time frame, this pull tried to break us towards new highs. We failed, so we've made a new low. So this would also be your high to break right now. And if we cannot break that high, price is bearish. And if we do break that high, we could possibly expect price to have this higher high and then maybe respect this higher low. For me, it would be on local confirmation, and then you can trade towards another higher high. But I'm really having my eyes on this zone, like I just sketched in. The origin was untested. You would take out all the liquidity of your whole up move, and I would love to see market makers stepping in here. But we are traders, so we don't expect, but we react. It's Ethereum, guys. Welcome everyone to the stream. If there is any questions about the way I'm analyzing, feel free to ask them. I would love to explain myself about my technical analysis and why I use certain things. And if you have some views about the market, then let them know as well. Just 1 second. Alright, we're back. Okay, so let's see here. Any coins you want to see, or just enjoy me analyze? Then let me go straight into the next one. AVAX was a bit stronger than other charts I was looking at. So interesting to see what's going on there now. Solar eclipse this morning. According to the moon phase charting patterns, we are going up only from here. Well, brother, you were the first one in the stream, and you were also the one that saw me analyze Bitcoin. And looking at this situation on Bitcoin, man, if a few of these scenarios come out and we get those market maker signals at the bottom, then I'm very interested in taking those longs, man. And then the solar eclipse doesn't fail again. Once again, it proves its cycle. So it's interesting price action on Bitcoin. I find it very easy to read what we're doing. Yeah. I mean, brother, if this cycle again, if it only goes up from here, then well, I might need to believe in those cycles as well, or at least pay more attention to it. AFAX. Quickly check the weekly. You know what? Remove this. This one's gonna go from scratch. I think AVAX has a. It's not the easiest chart to analyze. All right. Okay. I might need to like literally start from scratch, like 2021. Okay. On the monthly time frame, the highest time frame possible, basically, for actually structure to still form, we have a low, we have a high, a higher low, and we made new highs from there. Okay, so monthly structure still pointing up. What happened here is, no, let's not put the replay mode on. We have this low, and when we take a line and do it to the right, we have swept that low. This is not a break of structure, so our order flow is still this higher low for a new higher high. All right. And when we start zooming in a little bit, I was about to say we have some internal structure here, but there's not. It would be at the probably 3 week and 2 week stuff. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting what I'm seeing here. Remove this, and I'll tell you guys why. Because when we have the 2 week time frame, before we swept this low, we had a push up, and we had our last pull down before the massive expansion. That means sellers were still active in this whole down move, but buyers took over and then started pushing price up. And when we extend this zone, we can obviously see the price has got a good reaction from it. I would say this is our extreme demand to really expect more price action up. I will also tell you what I do not like. And at the 2 week time frame, we had this high, we had this low, and we've made new highs from there. So expectation order flow was then this higher low for another higher high. We failed to do that. So this order flow is a lower low, a lower high, and the order flow from here was a lower low, which we completed. And when we made those lower low, when we complete those objective, we can try again and breaking these highs. So for do you really want to see a rotation to around $100 on AFAX, you would have to gain this structure here, and then you could possibly see price action towards 90 slash 100. But for now, it's not looking like it. No. All right. So we've hit our point of interest right here, and we've got a reaction up, and we've completed our high time frame objective, which was this lower low. And also, guys, this is not how you create bottoms, right? You just not leave your lows open if you create those bottoms. And that's also why we've just swept that. Price from here, because still on the monthly, we can still expect price action to move up. So what I would love on AFAX for this to be a really good sweep of liquidity, and I want to see demand take over. Of course, we have, let me check. Yeah, we have pretty much this pool and we made new lows from there. So what we really want upside, we would have to break this high and then we can expect price action further up. But what I would love to see right now is after we took out this liquidity, the demand takes over and we started building our higher lows. So something like this. And then I want to break that. And then we can really search for more targets and search for more liquidity on the highs. Because this is also just all liquidity. I think price action could go through that fast. You're always going to find resistance at the first point. Damn, you have some really clear levels on AFAX. Because if you do manage to break this right here, then we're straight up going towards this supply. Because there's nothing holding price back right here. Because that is all liquidity, just stop losses. Price action will accelerate through it. So come up, triple bit back, and see if we can get that expansion again. If we do manage to break this supply zone right here, we can expect price to go towards here. Because once again, this is all liquidity. Price action accelerates through it, and then we have our next supply zone up here. So interesting higher time frame scenarios on AFAX. 16-hour. I mean, you can see it's stronger than Bitcoin and some other alts, because the other alts have began on their lows here. And for AFAX, let's check what highest time frame this pullback is valid. I think it's 16 hours, right? Yeah. And have we broken it at 16 hours? In my book, not. Because we would need a candle opening and closing above the highest time frame that this pullback is valid. And a pullback is valid for me when you have two green candles. No, well, right here you have 4, but on the daily you just have 1, and that is not a valid pullback. So you would have to hold this line right here for in order to still get this momentum going and try to break this high again. But you have to know, we took liquidity from the highs. So what could happen is we're going for this liquidity on these lows. So let's mark out this liquidity. Because it is at a scary level when price is right here. Because our liquidity on the lows is so interesting and so close for the market makers that they just could do a quick sweep and then get that price action moving upwards. So be careful at these levels with a lot of liquidity below it. Let's see if we have any interesting levels down here. Now I do want to mark this. This is our extreme liquidity. This is when price made a new high, and the first time the price held up and started breaking new highs from there. So once again, this is your origin of your whole up move. It has been tested, but the low marks out your extreme liquidity in this up move. So it's still an interesting place to see price react from it. This would also mean I would be interested in something like this. If we sweep that low and start breaking structure upwards, then I would be down for trade opportunity on AFAX. I bought AFAX at $13 in 2023. Yeah, great buy, bro. Great buy, and we had an insane run. It was before Bitcoin exploded as well, of course. If you had some investments running from there, then these were really take profit moments, for sure. I think that's the hardest for people is the take profits when they see price rise, and it's the hardest for them to take profits, and it's easier for them to just hold their bag and do nothing. Because selling seeing the price go higher afterwards, it's hard to bear. Sure, it's emotional. Sold at $41. Great swing trade, brother. That's profit for you. No lie, bro. I believe you. Second best investment I've made in my life. Yeah, it's around a almost 3x gain, man. That's crazy, you know. Even 50 or just 0.5x or just 2x, or I mean 1.5x or 2x. It's crazy. It's because I forgot I bought it. Well, you know, luck by an accident, we say it in Dutch here. But great. But what was your best investment, brother? Because you said it's your second best investment. What is your best investment? Also for AVAX, not much really to say about here. This was our 4-hour structure. We've made new lows. This is the part that brought us towards those lows, so bearish until proven. Well, let's actually not do this too rushed, because these do not follow my rules for a valid pullback, and these do. And this is a really juicy supply zone. That would be, this is all just liquidity, and this would be a point of interest to actually short from, or at least find some resistance from. See if we can supply chain from here, because we took out the liquidity. Price could straddle back up here, but if supply takes over right here, then you are going towards the liquidity, and you would have a juicy play of just 20%. It's a good point of interest to watch. Yeah, AVAX. Let's actually start ripping through this. Best investment Bitcoin buy at 28k. Yeah, bro, 28k, it's 4x. It's that's an amazing investment, 4x. And you're still holding most. You've taken profit, which is great. And what is your belief by still holding most? Are you like a pro crypto guy? You think crypto will be here in, let's say, 8 years, and you think Bitcoin is just a store of value, that it will go up, 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 so that's why you're holding? What is your view on the Bitcoin thing? Or is it just that you think the price is going up in the short term still, to then sell all of your Bitcoin? What's your plan with it? H-bar, man, I was crazy about H-bar. It could have had some really good opportunity, but we had the accumulation going over in the distribution, and the distribution broke below, so that's really bearish. It is. This was a point of interest for me to take longs, but nothing happened here. No break of structures, so no longs. That also makes this a completed range, or this is the high, this is your low, and we can now draw in this little amazing range box. I'm on both ends. Okay, yeah, I understand. Until I can pay my rent with Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, bro. You mean the world adaptation for it? Bro, this H-bar could cook here, you know? It could. Right now it's at a really crucial spot, but it could definitely start cooking here, because when we go to this was also a range. All right. Remove these little things here. The adoption is already here. True, if you see in how many countries you can freaking pay with crypto. It's crazy. People are too lazy to see. Yeah, I mean, there's still, you know, right now because of World War II, there was a baby boom in literally every country, of course. And there's a lot of, not sure how to say it in English, but a lot of gray people is how I would call it. And a lot of older people don't know about these things yet. They don't even know about internet. Imagine freaking crypto. So in the next coming 5, 10, 15, 20 years, those people will unfortunately pass away, but you will only have the younger generation over which will know. And this is also why the internet is still growing like a lot per year, almost 4 or 5% per year on people that are using it, which is crazy numbers, of course. So we're at the start of the digital age, man. I mean, internet is just around here for I mean, how long? How long is it? I don't know. Let's just stay from 2000, you know. Actually, brother, let me check. When was internet invented? And we're gonna, bro, 1983. But it has been really popular since 2000, of course, and it's still the early stage of the digital worldview. A lot of people call this the digital gold rush, how we are gonna see it in the future. It doesn't hold to hold a little bit of Bitcoin. I definitely agree, man. Cannot hurt us all. Payment method, yeah, you can pay a lot of shit already with just stable coins anyways. Also with Bitcoin. Yeah, 100%, man. It's always great to hold some. H-bar. While we were looking at the invention of the internet, let's go over H-bar now, because I have been doing nothing at the charts, just talking. Not great at multitasking. I am and stay, of course, a man, so but we have this double range. We had this range in a big range, and there's two scenarios that can happen. Or two scenarios, pretty much one. That is this manipulation leg down here, following by a expansion, because we have this PO, this possible PO3. Alright, now I do want to check something right here. This is the limit that I want to see your manipulation leg to be created. It has been backtested, of course, with these levels. Yeah, Web3 is developing, man. Can go absolutely crazy. I'm not sure why I have this part drawn in here. Because on the daily time frame, this is our valid pullback that caused us to make new highs. And after we've made those new highs, we just retested the highs and went. But our core push actually came from a bit lower, which is around, let's say this part. It's actually this whole level. If you just draw it from here, below that little bit of liquidity part, you know, then this scenario can actually still happen. Let's see if price can range a little here, creating liquidity at the bottom, taking out that liquidity, and then you know, start accumulating from there, start giving market maker signals. And then we could really have a fast expansion on H bar. Sure, it's a scenario. It's actually the only bullish scenario that is here right now. Unless, of course, this brought us towards new lows. We need to start gaining that level in order to see price continue up. So H bar, bearish until proven otherwise still. Sorry for distracted, brother. I don't mind, man. I'm just chilling, chatting with you, my most loyal viewer on YouTube. And we're exchanging some good value to each other, you know. I'm getting wiser by you, you are getting wiser because of me. So win-win situations. Love to spar about things about the economy, and like we've just all talked about at holding Bitcoin, and some old trades we've all made. So that was pretty much H bar here. Only 4 crypto charts in how long? 45 minutes. But I have been going over them with a lot of detail. Like, I am really proud of this Bitcoin chart right now. I am. This is, it cannot get any more clear for me than this on Bitcoin. I am proud of that. You always should be proud when you have a chart and it looks clean, you know. Makes me get a good feeling about it. LMAO. Bro, you should be proud of the work, you know. If you're putting in some work, then be proud of it. Not just go for like, this looks bad, and no, man. Sunsam, do you remember the stream that I was looking at injective right here? So we could have that third tap right here, and there was opportunity laying on the 15 minutes. When you started breaking this structure, you could expect price to go, but I was looking at a trade here, but look at this, man. We went up so ugly, building such a huge liquidity trail. Yeah, once again, we were going up really ugly, so there was not a play here for me, but they did give it away with this accumulation at the bottom. And even though, you know, you have market maker signals stepping in here, and those market maker signals have a target, and those market maker those market maker orders that they have filled in right here, they need to sell it somewhere. And what is the perfect place to sell them? That's at the opposite side of your range, which is right here. And what we had is this little compression build up. You went below the range, and look at the price section here. This is typical selling. So we are tracking down a transaction, or at least we have tracked down a transaction. Held price up from here, they bought in here, and they sold their positions here, and that's when you also can see price just fill from there. There's no one to hold price up again. You touch your only supply, and you're gone. Injective is not looking great. Had a point of interest here, but nothing happens. Literally nothing. Man, this is injective. Still looking one of the worst ones, because you have supply here, supply here, supply here, with those market maker signals up there, and they're still in the expansion of that move. Tested supply and dumped straight away, so our technical target is still is now this low. And of course we still have all the way from this low to build something to start trading up. So there is enough space to still look a bit bullish on Injective, but right now it's looking awful. Such a huge correction of this. So we took down all this liquidity. It's not looking great for long-term Injective. Why do I have this zone? On the higher time frame, we can clearly see this 3-day pullback towards the downside, and this is also the part that caused us to break towards new highs and all the way get you up to those all-time highs up there. So the interesting thing that I see now is we have front ran that point of interest, and what we could do here is, because when we downtrend we draw a range from low to high, and what could happen here is we could create a range, so deviate the low, you know, get that market maker signal, and then we could start accumulating from here, and then you can expect some follow through towards this high. But for now there's no other scenarios that I want to be watching. It's on the local picture as well, down until proven otherwise towards your technical target. We could find some support when we sweep this. This is our extreme liquidity. But looking at the way price came up here, building liquidity, having a tough move up because there's a lot of resistance, and then just having this easy dump down, it's not going to be an easy move up. There's all resistance here, there's no liquidity, and we're just distributing towards this low now. But if we do manage to create a range right here without taking this low, and we start breaking structure above, then I would like to trade it towards one of these levels, sure. Because this is your big pullback before that dump down. Bitcoin chart is beautiful, put it on the Discord. You're absolutely right, man. So I'm gonna put a link in the chat in a second, and that is the link to the Discord that I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build a community of some good disciplined traders to spar with, to share knowledge with, and we can take over this scene together, you know. Okay, let me post it in the Discord. There we go, this is what the Discord is looking like. We have a VIP here, but no work in progress. We have no VIPs. We're not asking money for anything yet. So just trying to build a community first, 100%. And then we can also, then after we've put something on the list here, put something on the world, then we can start talking about a value exchange. Of course, a value exchange, that means someone, for example, gives me $50, and in return I give him information, and it's not a scammy thing, no, nothing. It's just a fair value exchange. It's how the world works, brothers. Okay. Bitcoin, beautiful charts. Let me put the Discord in the chat so people know. People that are watching the stream back, people that are watching the stream now, if you have interest, then join the Discord, because we are trying to build something there. If you have any questions about charts, you can ask them in the Discord, and I'll chart it for you. I'm online every day, no problem. Alright. I saw, you know what I find interesting to do? That's also the way I'm trying to make my videos lately. I think it is a good way, and I'm gonna share it. I want to be as transparent with everything as possible. Also, why I'll make certain videos about certain coins, and that is if we go onto CoinMarketCap, I look at the most trending list, and of course most trending, a lot of people are looking at that, and they look at the big swingers, which coins have gained a lot in the last few days, and those coins are a bit trending. And that's also where I'm trying to base my my videos on, to reach out to new people. So if you see this coin fine here, then you can already guess something might be on the way. And soon, Sam brother, let me show you something. Like, I don't care about sharing my YouTube stats or anything. It's not not the most interesting thing to see, but I do want to share something with you soon, Sam. Look at the top one right here. My brother, Bitcoin Cash analysis. My trading plan on it. It will be online today in actually I think in 15 minutes. I still have to put the thumbnail on. I think I have to actually do that on stream because I am still live. Bro, my editor is absolutely cooking with these thumbnails, you know. Look at this. They're so good. Also, for the next one soon, Sam, then you already know, just doing some work while live streaming. I'll get into the link in a second. There we go. What's a... Bro, you're getting some insights. You know, Sun Sam, are you following the journey I've made on YouTube? The road to my trading journey towards prop firm payouts? I'll put it in the Bitcoin Cash Telegram if you're allowed to, because I can understand if people don't want to share links. Then sure, man, I would appreciate it. Thank you for the support, Soon Sam. I really appreciate it that you're putting in some trouble for it. I definitely do. Let me put up that thumbnail on the YouTube, and then I'm gonna continue with the analysis. There we go. Yeah, once again, Soon Sam, I appreciate you being here every time and supporting the channel. I always say to myself, value sells itself. And I mean, that's also the result of my channel growth, because in the last month, I think it's been 3 weeks now since I've been really uploading on a consistent basis, I've gained over more than 100 subscribers. So all of those G's are wanting to learn. Yeah, the payouts are interesting. Prove my trades a bit. Yeah, brother, I can show you the journal if you want, because I am behind on a lot of things, and I do deserve the people that are watching me closely to actually know the status of my journey right now. Because if you've seen the last video, I have been funded. I have 2 funded accounts right now, and I am trading on one of them, of course. Look, there we go. This was the thing that I got funded with. This was the EVA account that I vault journaled, and right now we are on the this is the status of the funded account right now, man. The last trade we have called a W. The losses were a bit heavy though because of the spreads. Because I use more contracts, but these were at London sessions, so the volume is a bit less, so you need to use more contracts. But that's also when you get that nasty spread. But yeah, it's been going great, man. I'm pretty focused. I'm really patient on my trades. Oh, and they love a good video on Bitcoin Cash. They have separate channel for price only. Costco hot dog. That's crazy, man. I mean, they love a good video. Is it a good video though? Because I am an objective analyzer, you know. I'm not talking about going to the moon. I'm not talking about Bitcoin Cash going to the moon. That's not the case. No, that's not the way I analyze. I'm talking about every possible scenario and how I can profit on it myself. And not I'm not here to say Bitcoin Cash goes to all-time high and all of that stuff. Sorry for the background there, by the way. Alright, let's actually start speed running a bit. I've been enjoying the stream though. I've been live for 1 hour now. Spit some personal knowledge as well as chart knowledge. Been chatting nicely with you, Sam. It's been great so far. So, Link. Everyone was pretty bullish on Link because I remember it being on the trending line. But what do I have to say about Link? Because how can you be so overly bullish? How has this been on trending? They're not scared of it going down. Yeah, I do think I have a good way of analyzing, because if I see other videos on YouTube, everyone always tells it's going to the moon. It's just such the biased way of analyzing. The thumbnail, this is gonna go 50x, but I think I really have a unique point on that with my analyzing, because I have no bias coming into my analysis, and that's also why I think I can perform as well on the charts as with the numbers, because I just look at what the market does. I react on the market, and I don't care if it goes up or down. I can trade anything. You feel me? I'll let you know how they judge it, LMAO. Bro, I would love to hear that. Alright. Link. I'm in a bit of a chill vibe right now, though. Let's lock in here. Start picking up a few charts now again. Link. Let's check the daily time frame. Not Moon Boys, bro. Moon Boys are so rigged. You should know, I'm switching subjects again, but I want to show you this. This coin, NGL. I'm not a bear either, no man. I'm just look at the charts in an objective way, how I can play on the long situation and how I can play on the short situation. And that is also because I'm not in any spot right now. And if people are huge in some spot, then they're gonna have a bias towards the charts. If you own a lot of Bitcoin, then you want to look at Bitcoin more bullish than bearish because you're holding it, you know. And I'm not holding anything. I can be transparent in that. I'm not holding any spots in this stage of the market. No. The reaction on the market keeps you in small time frame as well as long. Yeah. Agreed. What I was gonna say about this project is it has been a while since I've looked at this because I've made 2 videos on this coin, and it was one right here. I had actually bought some spot on this coin right here, and that went up almost 3x, which was great. And then I made another video when the price was right here. No, that's not true. Right here. And someone also commented on my video, oh, NGL is down so much, I lost everything because of you. But I think, bruv, how did that happen? Because all I tell in my charts, if we manage to hold this low, then we can expect price to keep on pushing that order flow. But if you manage to lose that low, then our trends change and you just start getting this. And then if you're still holding your spot back, then it's your fault. But your invalidation is right here. So even if you bought spot right here, then you would only lose 13% on your investment and not more. That's the problem with anyone. They love to hold their spot backs. Buy and hold, buy and hold. I understand it with Bitcoin, but not with the altcoins. And that's exactly what we've seen this cycle. Alright, Link. Yep. I was talking about how people can be that bullish on the chart while nothing really happened. I'll admit, it still looks great. It looks better than other charts for sure. So let's get into it. The weekly time frame, this is our last pullback before we started breaking structure towards these highs. Break of structure for you. And that break of structure came from this low. So our expectation order flow is if you keep this low, we can still expect price action to move towards these highs. So I do like that about Link. And we had an accumulation down here. We have tested that accumulation, so I do not really see a reason to go back down here. Dior, is that a coin, brother? Oh, do your own research. Okay. Of course. But do you mean a coin, or do you actually mean this coin? Or do you just mean do your own research? That's the thing about crypto. There's literally a coin for everything. Where are you at? There we go. You almost have a coin for that. Crazy. So many crypto coins. And they're not all there to stay. Do your own research, yeah. That's one to think about, because a lot of people, for example, I'm gonna upload that video on Bitcoin Cash. I think it should be live right now. Let me check it. Or did I post it on 5 o'clock? No, it's live, but still, when I make a video about a certain coin, people are gonna marry certain things. And what I mean by that is, for example, on Link right now, if I like I've said, this would be your expectation order flow to hold this low and get that rotation towards new highs. And if people hear that, then they just press the buy button on. I mean, I don't understand it. Just because someone is pretty bullish on a project and then watches a video about it, they're just looking on confirmation on their own bias. They just hear one word and then just going, you know. But yeah, like I said, I'm a trader. I have my invalidations, I have my wins, I have my losses. I mean, do your own research for people that get mad taking other people's trades, especially YouTube. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, weekly order flow is up. Straight up. Daily time frame. This is our low, this is our high that brought us to new lows. This means even if we are in a high time frame point of interest, if we never manage to break this high right here, price action is doomed for new lower lows. So even if we go up here, if we do not manage to break this high, then we would still make new lows, and from there we can try to break this high again. But the expectation order flow would then still be another lower high for another lowered low until proven otherwise. If we manage to get that break, then our expectation order flow is switched and we can expect the higher low for another higher high. But the confirmation is just not there yet. You're greedy on the video, you're curious. Yeah, sure, brother, go ahead. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing here. Second, let me just grab a drink here. I'll be continuing with the technical analysis in a bit. Let me just check something real quick. Alright, brothers. All right, let's continue the analysis. So the order flow is still down. If we cannot break that high, we are bearish. And looking on what we did on link here, okay, this is interesting. This is value for you. Had that supply, sure thing, tested and brought us down. But what is next? We have this huge push that tried to break us towards new highs, but we failed doing so. So this makes it your supply. We still tried to make new highs from there, but then sellers stepped in and pushed the price down, and we've even made new lows. So this would be your supply. And as we can see, this is, for me it's pretty obvious, but it's interesting because we have all of these higher lows building up. This is just insane liquidity. There's so much liquidity here. So if our expectation order flow is that lower high for still a lower low, and you're building up that much liquidity in here, it's obvious for me that sooner or later you're gonna take all of this liquidity, because you also have to think about it this way. Is this a good bottom? I don't think so. It is not. This is not a good bottom if you leave all of these retail players in their positions with their leveraged longs. No. For in order to really make good bottoms, you would have to take out all of this liquidity and then try again from there, breaking towards new highs. So the best entry is always after the masses has been stopped out, and that's a fact. Place your entry where the masses have put their stop losses. It's a great quote from Dr. David Paul. I love his psychological effect about the market. He's a great trader, or was at least. Okay, so Link, it's really bearish until proven otherwise, because even on the local picture we had this pull down and we've made new highs. So that also meant if we managed to keep this low, we could still expect higher price action up in this supply, but we failed doing so. We've now made a new lower low. Where did that move came from? Right here. We were still bullish and we tried to make new highs, but again, that's when sellers stepped in and pushed us towards new lows. So it would make sense for us to come back here and then get a possible trade towards the downside, towards that this objective down here. Would be a great scenario. I'd be interested in it. That's a great plan. And okay, I do have to draw in something here, because when we are ranging, we're drawing our thing from low to high, and we do have a possible market maker signal down here though. We do. So let's draw in our range low, our points, and these highs. Let's remove this real quick, because I don't think it looks clean in the charts. Extend our range. Okay, so we do now have two possible situations where market makers are stepping in to push the price up, because we have our first signal. That means you go below a low and keep a certain point and then push up from there. This actually looks the exact same on Bitcoin. Start removing this would be our extreme liquidity. I want to reduce this. Doesn't look great in the chart, does it? Now it looks way better, cleaner. And now you could say we are building a lot of liquidity on these highs. All right. Do we have any extreme demand down here? I don't think so. It would be, is this tested? It is. All right. I'm just gonna go off this liquidity then. Great scenario would be trending down, taking that liquidity, breaking our local structure towards the top, and then you would have your confirmed market maker signal, and you would have your place to buy right there. Then we have another situation we have to sketch out, and that is come down here, take out this low one more time, break back bullish, and then start trending from there, which this would be your market maker signal. Or, it's not correct, this, and your entry would be this. Yep, this is the trading plan on Link. Pepe. Pepe was a bit crazy. I wanna try something with my stream title, because of course I am making YouTube videos. I'm trying to reach out to people. This is also a journal for myself, of course, but I would love for more people to also learn from it, combine our strengths. So what I do want to do is experiment with my stream title. I think this title is okay. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, Pepe. Pepe. Man, I've done these charts so many times on the higher time frame. Every time I go live, I can literally dream about them. Let me put on a good song. I like these vocal beats though. Just chill background beats, great to analyze on. Sure. So what we did on Pepe was really interesting. We have swept so much liquidity, and we also got a reaction from that demand and also our liquidity. We do have to keep something in mind. We do, because we've made a low, a high, and that brought us to new lows. So no matter how that lower time frame looks, if we can never manage to break this high right here, so make it to gain. We never manage to break this high right here, we cannot have our expectation order flow to be bullish. Because if we stay below this high, then our expectation order flow is still bearish, because this is the high that brought you to new lows on the local trend. And if you do manage to gain this, then our expectation order flow switches and we've made a higher high, and we can now expect the higher low for another higher high. Which is a great scenario, of course. Okay. The daily time frame, let's hold this low and we can expect upside, like I've just drawn in here. Demand. Little liquidity points below your demand. And sure, I'm interested in this is the low that brought us to new lows. If we manage to gain this, I would be interested in looking on local confirmation longs right there to then target new highs and follow this this order flow. Yeah, pep, ton. I don't like this. Bit too busy here. It's a bit rough because we are squeezing up on top because of all of this liquidity, but we've now hunted all that liquidity. I think we have. Yeah. We even haven't had a little order block up there. Not that bad. Choose replay mode. This would have been it right here. Let's check if that was tested or not. It was tested. Okay, so we really went for that extreme liquidity. So this is going to be interesting now because we have taken so much liquidity, and if, as we can see on the price, after we took out that liquidity, we've made a low. Then we tried to make new highs, but we failed because sellers stepped in and is pushing us toward new lows. So I'm curious, and because we are leaving open these little highs here now, this one, does the market need more liquidity from the bottom? Because if we're building liquidity on one side, that's the top, we need liquidity from the other side. So it could be a scenario that we are going to supply chain from here and target that bottom liquidity. So this is a scenario I would be interested in. Where's our liquidity? It's all the way over here. On the daily time frame, this is also our low to hold for an order to still expect this price action and this order flow. All right. And if we do lose that, then I expect all of this liquidity to get swept. And then we would have to try again from there. So already 2 scenarios, basically 3 scenarios, the long and the bearish, and this is literally all I would be looking for. Yeah. Ton, done. Doge. Yes, it's a range, but we entered it and failed. Okay, not too interesting to keep this range in the chart. What happened on Doge? On the 16-hour, also on the daily time frame, yes. We had this push towards highs and we've made new lows from there. This would also mean if we never manage to break this high, we can expect price action towards this new low again, because that is just our high time frame expectational order flow. That lower high for another lower low. There's straight away something I mean, I do like it from a short perspective, but I don't like it from a bull perspective. We have a bunch of liquidity there, and I do have to say most of the times when we have a big move up and we come all the way back to the core right here, this liquidity will get taken. I'm gonna place a few traps here, gonna scribble back up, and then test your supply and then go towards all of this liquidity, and then we can try again. Eight-hour daily structure. If we manage to keep this low, we could still expect price to go deeper towards this high and maybe reject from here. Oh, that is hard to hold. So this would also be a situation I would be interested in. And if that doesn't happen, mark out this extreme liquidity. There we go. I need to make a preset for this. Origin low. I would be interested in taking all of this extreme liquidity, take that out, and then get that break above towards more upside. 2 scenarios. Alright. Is there any supply up here? Yes, but it has been tested, so not that interested. No, not that interested in shorts here, because we've tested this, we went down, and we've also tested this again. So there's no supply here, this is just liquidity then. So I wouldn't be that interested in straight up taking shorts when price comes up here. There needs to be some manipulation above here. Price comes up here, takes out that high, we would have a range, come back, take out the liquidity, and then something like this for a short, but not really too eager in watching that right now. These 2 situations on Doge. Need to watch out though. Expectation order flow is still this lower high for the lower low. Doge, done. XRP. XRP bleeds, man. We've never managed to gain this high, which brought us all the way towards new lows. So this would mean we are following our expectation order flow now, because we've made this high, this low, a new higher high, but from there we've made a lower low. So on the higher time frame, our expectation order flow was this lower high for another lower low. And now on the local trend here, right now, it is as well the case. So we can now expect this lower high for another lower low. This also means the liquidity that we have grabbed down here was not enough to switch our trends to bullish. So we need more liquidity from the bottom. So I do think we can come towards this wick into our demand point of interest right here, and then we can start going up again. Yeah, that would be a good scenario. And for now, let's check. Yeah, basically this whole we tried to make new highs from here, but sellers stepped in, so this would be your supply. made a break. Point of interest for XRP. Two scenarios here. I'm gonna save these charts for later. I am going to have to go now, unfortunately. Okay, guys. Thank you for being here in the stream, and if you're watching the stream back, then you're definitely a legend. You're consuming some valuable content. I've been chilling a bit this stream, but I've also been spitting a lot of facts on the chart. So one more time, I'm gonna share the Discord link because I am creating and building up a little community. There's only a few people in it now. We've started only early, but as I always say, value sells itself. That's also why the people are coming to the Discord, because what they see on the chart for around a month now, they also see it happen in real time. I'm as transparent as possible, and I'm journaling my journey live on YouTube. Alright, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching it back. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cage is out.